Okay, so it's time to take this Amiga 500 apart because I'm going to clean it all up and I'm going to Retrobrite this case in my new Retrobriting box. And that's the original colour of the case there. This is where some sticker was. So hopefully I can get this whole case back to the colour that it was originally. So the first job is just to disassemble it. The keyboard's already been done. Let's keep what keeps this drive in. Looks like there's a screw there that's keeping it in. I always thought that the A500, when you put the disc in, gives you a really solid like thump, and it's because this drive's held in so well, unlike on the A500 where it's just held in by a couple of screws. This one's held in by 4 that are really solidly attached. The A500 drive seems to have stood the test of time a bit better than the A600 one. Probably this drive's got no surface mount capacitors in it when you open it up. Chinon. Don't know who that is. Oh, it's got little jumpers on it as well. But this completely works. It's utterly shocking when you get one of these drives that just works. So that'll get cleaned up as well. Is this held in by anything? Oh, there's a clip. There we go. This is so going to snap, this plastic clip. What's holding you in? Oh, is it just... I think the rust is holding it on. Yeah, there was nothing holding that in other than the rust. There we go. Let's have a look on the back. Yeah, so it has had a bit of rust. All this stuff here on this shield. Not really bad. It's not really infected the board or anything. Let's just check the other side of the board as well. Yeah, I've got to take all of these out, which is tedious, but I'll do that now and get this shield off. Okay, can I get this board out of here now? There we go. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there's a bit of rust under, a bit of rust under the shielding there. Interesting to put these vents in, but then they didn't put vents in this. But yes, there's a bit of rust under there, so this all needs cleaning up because this has got to go back in. Let's have a look at the other side of this board, and it looks all right. So none of that rust has really done any damage to the actual electronics. That's pretty good. This just confirms that I probably don't need to do anything to this. Just clean it up a bit on top. It's actually quite small once it's out of the whole computer, isn't it? It's not the biggest board in the world. A600 isn't much bigger than that once you take it out. Let's just dust some of this crap off this board while I'm here, because it is super dusty. I think most of this came from the packaging when it was being shipped, actually. Oof, pretty dirty. Well, that looks really good. Well, my desk now looks terrible, but that looks really good. That looks like new. Now all the dust has come off it. The capacitors look fine. They don't look like they've leaked or anything. So I'm going to put that to one side for now, and the main cleanup is going to be on the case. Let's just get all this gunk off my desk. Ugh. So I think I'm just going to give all these pieces a bath. I'm going to be using some improved scent fairy liquid. I use this to clean my bike and everything, so why not clean my computer with it as well? Oh, it's got something written on there. Is it a postcode or something? I don't know what that is. DL3. Maybe this was used by a business, possibly. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, whatever that is has come off. It's amazing what just cleaning something, how much better it can look afterwards. Because this just had like a really grubby look to it, and I thought it was mostly like stuck to the surface, but when you actually come to clean it, it's not. So it's the next day now, and I've woken up and it just happens to be this lovely blue sky. So I am going to attempt to Retrobrite this Amiga outside instead of using the Retrobriting box that I've just made. Right, so the Retrobriting is finished, and unfortunately it's not been a total success because, Yeah, we've got these patchy marks all over the front. So I think these were actually caused by the plastic that was sitting on top and sticking to the case in places and not in other places. It does look a bit weird. The area where that panic button was stuck on, square has now gone, but there's now like a white patch there. And yeah, next to the Amiga, you can see that it's like different colors. So it's got these like streaky marks on it. So unfortunately, that's not been a success. But it does look better on the sides. The sides were really yellow. They're all good. And the bottom case has turned out all right. I don't know what to do now. I think maybe what I'm going to do, because I've lost the sunlight now, so I'll probably try and put this through again. And maybe find out how I did this wrong, because there's like a big mark here. I'm sure it's where the plastic is like touching this or something. So I think maybe I'll do this, just this top part again, and stick it in the Retrobrite box that I made. But otherwise, I think if it hadn't been for this plastic that's made these marks over here like that, this would have been quite a success. But the back looks really good. Sides look much better. Yeah, I think maybe another little while in the Retrobrite box. There is the danger that I could even make it even worse if I try and Retrobrite it again. But yeah, maybe I can fix this. So there it is inside. Probably leave it in here for like an hour or something and see if I can get rid of that blemishing. If not, then it's not been a success, unfortunately. So the Amiga's only been in for 30 minutes and I've been taking a look at it. It looks like it might be fixed. So I think it is really hard to tell, but so yeah, I'm going to take this out now and clean it up. So unfortunately, it looks like I have made a mess of the Retrobriting. The Amiga's got all these like marks on it here, and I'm 99% sure these are from where the plastic was touching the case. And I can actually see it on the time-lapse video. There is a bit here where you can see the plastic is actually touching the case here, and there's bits here where it's not, and that's where it's got these like uneven marks. And it looks like these parts have gone much whiter than they should be, and everything else is about the right color. So I don't really know how I'm supposed to stop that, but putting it back through the Retrobrite box for another 30 minutes hasn't really made any difference, because I think this part's actually too light. The trapdoor looks like it's the right color, matches that, and then I've got this like white mark here. Looks like I have messed it up. I mean, the sides look better, the back looks better, this grill looks better, but the top part, the part that you really notice, is just a bit of a mess, unfortunately. Yeah, I really need to rethink how I'm doing this, because I've really made a mess of it. I mean, it does look slightly lighter, which is good. Like this square that was here has disappeared, but I've just been left with a different mark there. So I've got rid of one square and I've just got other marks all over the place. That is definitely not a good outcome. I need to have a look at how this has happened with this like plastic mark here. Because I've just been putting these in bags, but I've seen other people put cling film on them. So I don't know if the cling film's a better way, because I don't know, it looks like where the plastic touches, it's made it whiter than where it wasn't touching it. Maybe that's because less of the cream evaporated where this plastic was like stuck to it. So maybe that's why the cling film method is a better way, because everything's stuck down then and you don't evaporate the hydrogen peroxide. But yeah, I have botched that up. It looks cleaner, but yeah, it's not good. That's a shame. I hope I can fix that somehow. It's all starting to match a lot better now, but yeah, with those marks on the top, I just feel like I've made it worse, not better. I've made a real mess of that. Anyway, so let's see if I can clean some of this rust off the bottom of this. Let's see if I can get any of this off. There's a bit on there. I wonder if a bit of WD-40 will get this off. I don't know. It might be that this is just not going to move. Let's just try a bit of this. Oh, actually, that rust's coming off. So yeah, maybe a bit of WD-40 will clean this remaining rust off. I'm so gutted about the Retrobriting going completely wrong. That is really my fault. Oh yeah, that rust is coming off. Right, that's probably about as good as I'm going to get that. Can I get any of this off here? I think that's about as much loose rust as I can get off, so I'm going to put this back in. Put these connectors back. We are getting there to putting this thing back together. Actually quite a lot of space on this side of the Amiga, isn't there? Makes you realise that when they shrunk it down for the A600, there was actually quite a lot of space in the A500 anyway. They kind of just shoved the drive a bit further over that way. So I'm going to put the top lid of the Amiga through for a second retrobrighting pass in the garden again, because it's going to be another blue sky day today. So the sun hasn't hit that yet, but hopefully we'll get a better result. So unfortunately, I have botched the Retrobrite. I've tried my best to fix this, but it is still not right, and I don't think I can ever get this correct now. So this is really unfortunate. It still has all these streaky marks. Looks like it may have even damaged the plastic there, where it's gone like shiny or something. So I'm not exactly sure what's happening there. But what I did was basically went for another retrobrighting pass, and I put it in the put the peroxide cream on it. I put it in a plastic bag, and this time I went through and like massaged the cream in and made sure I did that like every hour or so to try and get it better. But when it came out, it was exactly the same. So I thought, last ditch attempt, I'll just get a brush and I'll put the peroxide cream straight on top of it, and I'll just leave it out in the sun without the plastic bag. That was even worse again, because after about 30 minutes of that, it had all streaky paintbrush marks in it. So I thought, one last ditch attempt, I'm going to do the same thing again, but I did the cream on it, and this time I did it every 5 minutes and just put more cream on it and went outside without the plastic bag at all. That has got rid of some of the streaks. It hasn't really fixed any of the original problems that I picked up. So it's possible that I just can't fix those now. It does look reasonably white, maybe too white, but it doesn't look good. It's got these marks going down here, and there's marks there from the original retrobrighting botch. So yeah, I've definitely botched that. I'm really upset about that. Made a mess of it. So that's really my bad on that one. So I've done this style of retrobrighting before as well, where I put it in the bag. I've done my Amiga 600s and the Commodore 64 like that, and I had no problems, but this time it's just gone completely wrong. So learn from my mistakes there. I don't know what a good way to do this is, but maybe this is not a good way, because I've ended up with this huge mark here. I can definitely see on the time lapse that I did that there is a big, where the plastic touched this round here, that's where I've got this extra white mark. And I think what's happened is the case has just gone too white there, and it shouldn't be that white. I'm really trying to correct it by brightening everything up more than it should be. It's a shame, because it looks so good in places. You look certain parts of it and it looks really good. The whole thing, it's a bit of a mess, and maybe not coming across on the camera. I'm not really sure. It doesn't look great. I have botched it, and I'm going to live with my mistakes. This is my Amiga now. I own it. Right then, one of the last things I want to do before I put this back together is try and just clean this drive up a bit. And maybe I'll open it up and see if I can clean the heads. So I think if I just undo a couple of these screws, maybe I can take the shroud off. Maybe I can get a look inside. There's a teeny screw. Right, I think, will this slide off? Whoa! There we go. Really just want to blow some of the dust out of it, that's all. So it's actually quite clean inside, that's not bad. I don't want to disassemble this any further though, because these things are mechanical. Yeah, I can see a few capacitors on there. Again, there's no surface mount capacitors, so that's maybe why this thing's survived. There's 3, 4 capacitors that don't look like they've leaked. Just blowing all the dust out of it, really, that's all I'm doing. It picked up quite a bit of dust from the packaging that it got, I think, that it came in. And maybe I can get to these heads. I'm so gutted about the retrobrighting getting botched up. This computer was basically perfect when I got it. Well, I'll say perfect. It was pretty grubby. Let's just see if I can clean these heads. I'm just using a bit of alcohol to clean the heads. Everything else looks all right, I think. Well, actually the heads were probably all right as well. I'm just making sure there's none of that dust on them. Let's give this top a clean. Okay, that's the drive back together. Just get all the dust off it. Bit of contact cleaner on that. Ooh. Right. Trapdoor's back in. there it is. The reassembled Amiga 500 after all of its harrowing times that it's been through. Does it still work? I mean, I haven't done anything electronically to it, so in theory it still works. Normally I would expect this not to work, but because I've not done anything to it technically this just works. So, but I don't know, I'm having a run of bad luck, so what can I say? Let's just not push my luck. I'll put the Amiga test kit in. Huh, excellent, it still works. Thank the Lord. So there it is, my fully restored Amiga 500. I am a bit upset about the botchedness of this retrobriting. I'm really happy that it's all clean and it's you've got no crap in the keyboard or anything anymore. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. I have made a mess of that and I need to work out how to not do this in the future. But at least you can tell from what I've done is that is one way to mess it up. But yeah, that's the way I've done it. Oh no! Yeah! Oh, you idiot! It's because the speed ups are too fast. Amiga 500, slightly botched up retrobriting, but otherwise not too bad.